If you had to pick one accomplishment to display for all to see, what would you put? Really weird way of starting a video, but stay with me on this. Hollow Knight is a game that's hard to make a video about. Anything and everything was already talked to death already. Kind of expected when its sequel was announced 6 years ago. But one thing I've never seen anyone talk about is Godhome's Ultimate Challenge. Pantheon of Hollownest. Except, what is there to talk about? It's just a boss rush to test your skill against every boss in the game, all while trying not to die once. Otherwise, tough luck, back to the start. Anyone who has played or seen the game probably has a good idea how each boss plays. Which is where I want to bring up the other aspect of Pantheons. Yep, we're taking it to the extreme. Bindings are nerfs to your own gameplay, because a game without optional masochism is not a game at all. You're willingly gimping your own fun, which should win you a free trip to an asylum if you think about doing them. Completing Pantheons with any binding gun rewards you with a bronze orb, representing which bindings you won with, but completing Pantheons with all bindings together rewards you with golden orbs that glow all sparkly-like. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it gives you absolutely nothing but self-gratification, and pleasure if your fetish is mental anguish. Seriously, there's not even an achievement for this. It's a purely self-imposed challenge for crazy nutjobs who want to make it big on YouTube. Wait. If you haven't realized what this video is about, or haven't read the title, I'm gonna be talking about the utmost difficult challenge in Hollow Knight. Pantheon 5 All Bindings. Not counting artificial challenges, because I know someone is already typing that out. But hold on, I just said that there's nothing to talk about with Pantheon 5, because it's just a difficult boss rush. Would a couple of nerfs really change the way you approach each encounter? Well...
It is a wonderful life, please could you kiss my name when the music's over? Turn off the light, it was such a sweet time. Could you pray for me, my friend? It's starting over time. Take over the night, take over the blue time. If you heard that screaming, shout in your mind. Take over the shine, take over the shooting star. All I was talking about was music, and that's called jazz.
For those unaware, bindings aren't just some small inconvenience you can brush off. They are major game changers. If you watched my Hero Ice video, hint hint, you'll know I made a big deal out of a single boss fight lasting 7.5 minutes. With a clearance time of 7.5 minutes and 9 total phases, and all of that is amplified as you fight, cause remember, 7.5 minutes. Well, how about we up that to 42 bosses and extend time to an hour and a half? All without dying. Who's crazy enough to even think about beating such a thing? Right, since I'm crazy enough to beat such a thing, let's first see what bindings actually change. Oh, I don't know, only about everything! The charm binding prevents you from using any charms, meaning no DPS builds to quickly take down anyone who looks in your direction. This binding alone potentially doubles the length of every boss, as a major part of Hollow Knight is charms. The nail binding reduces our nail damage. Now the damage reduction depends on the nail level you have, and if that damage exceeds a certain point. For simplicity, we are using the pure nail, meaning we deal 13 damage per hit instead of 21. Stay tuned to know why that's a problem! The shell binding reduces our health to a mere 4 masks, less than base health. So besides making taking damage way more unforgiving, this puts us at a major disadvantage against bosses that deal 2 masks of damage. You could say that you can just heal 1 mask and be at 2 hits from death again, but healing isn't always guaranteed. Especially in a stressful environment like this one. Attempting to heal could put you in an even worse situation than you already were, and healing from 1 mask to 2 is outright useless in every boss that deals 2 damage. And don't even think about healing more than 1 mask at a time, because the soul binding exists. In my opinion, the worst binding to deal with. It reduces your maximum soul to 33%, enough to cast 1 spell or heal once. Not having access to charms is fine, you always have spells like Abyss Shriek, which deals a metric ton of damage, and Dessa Dive for invincibility. Well, you can rule that out now, because choosing what to use that 1 soul charge on is like playing a choose your own adventure game, except all paths lead to you getting buried 6 feet under. My map updated? Oh, so that's what I am. Okay, besides being wheelchair bound, what can we actually do? We still have utilities such as Shade Cloak for invincibility or dash, Mantis Claw to click onto walls, Crystal Heart, because we all know how useful that is in combat, Monarch Wings for double jump, and all 3 nail arts, which are also affected by the nail binding. Basically, our kit is as bare bones as it can be to make this challenge even possible. There is another aspect of the game outside of our kit that helps us during the run, and that is lifeblood cocoons. After reaching any bench area, there will be a lifeblood cocoon that, when broken, gives us 5 lifeblood masks, which is temporary health that cannot be healed, and isn't affected by the mask binding, thank god. You can unlock these by getting a total of 16 bindings across any pantheons. This also means that beating pantheons with any number of bindings isn't useless, as it does technically reward your efforts. Equipping all bindings at once is still unnecessary and should put you into solitary confinement. Other than that, I think we covered everything relative to the challenge, so we can finally talk about the bosses and how bindings change the way we approach. Alright, second channel promo. If you wish to watch my P5 all bindings run in full, it will be uploaded to my second channel, where I upload runs of all challenges I do and basically anything that doesn't fit. And why not check out my Twitch channel while you're at it? The basic consensus for all bosses is that all of them are double the length on average. Removing your build and limiting your resources tends to make people struggle for some reason. Taking even a single point of damage, like I've said, is really risky as healing isn't guaranteed. And even if you do heal, you're wasting your only renewable resource on not damage. So what I have done... Can you shut up for a second? Give me 1 second. So what I have done is split all bosses in one of 4 categories. Small critters, the troublesome bunch, tough crowd, and absolute pain. First, I'll be covering the small critters, which consists of Vengeful Kings, yes there's 2, Grasmother, False Knight, Massive Moss Charger, Hornet, the easy one, Gorb, he left, literally flings shit at you Defender, Grooming Moloch, Zero, Crystal Guardian, Soulmaster, the MILF, Overflowing Kettle, Elder Who Asked, Troopmaster Grim, and a common Australian house pet. Okay, when I said covering, that was a bit of a lie. All of these are in this category because they aren't that challenging or offer no additional challenges that they use a different arena.
Oh yeah, I should talk about that.
When you get into Godhome, you can find a door that leads to the Hall of Gods, which basically lets you replay any boss you fought before. However, every boss has additional challenges, with the likes of Ascendant and Radiant. Fighting on these difficulties beefs up the boss's health and makes them deal double damage. Unless it's Radiant, where they deal all of your health as damage. Good luck not going clinically insane fighting some of these. But one other aspect of these extra difficulties is that some bosses have modified arenas. These modified arenas are used in P5. With our first batch of bosses, the arena changes aren't that drastic. Vengeful King dupes himself, Grasmother's arena limits where you can stand, the same can be said for Gorb and Zero, Brooding Moloch's arena deflates, and this is actually where you first encounter Winged Nosk, a boss that replaces regular Nosk but fights closer to Vengeful King, except it pisses everywhere now. That's all when it comes to these guys. They are very trivial and are essentially freebies. I mean, the hardest out of these is Grim, but if you can handle his second fight, then you can handle his first. That's another thing, some bosses have a second, much harder fight down the line, so talking about them here is the same as comparing a car crash to bumper cars. This is how False Knight's first phase looks. What am I supposed to say to this?
Yeah, you get them.
Massive Moss Charger can be beat by standing still, Hornet is as slow as swimming through wet concrete, Fulcrum Arm is so hot, I mean so not hard. But I am. And the hardest part about Vengeful Kings is that they wouldn't shut. Now, if you're someone who gets hit a lot for being impatient, like me, this is a good opportunity to learn some patience and practice focusing more on surviving rather than killing. Trust me, some of these bosses are a piece of cake in the base game, but simply extending how long a boss lasts changes how you approach it. It's the same philosophy I had in my Hero of Ice video. Hint, hint, it's not about how fast you can kill the boss, it's about learning how to consistently dodge each and every attack while you're very slowly whittling down the enemy's HP. Take your time to look for an opening, test where are proper healing opportunities, kill the boss one hit at a time, no rush. Okay, that doesn't apply to Massive Moss Charger. This is an actual boss.
The server lag. You did it. She just did a... That was not a dash, she just hopped forward.
He got knocked downwards! What? What?
Hey! Can't touch me.
In the second category, we have the Troublesome Bunch. It consists of bosses that on a bad day can kick your shins in, but generally are not too hard to deal with. This category consists of Soul Warrior, Gay Alien, the other gay guy,
Paint me like one of your French girls.
Hive Knight, Fraud Tamer, Watcher Knight, I'm not saying that, Silk Post, Enraged Guardian, Lost Kin,
I hate you.
Traitor Lord, and Soul Tyrant. Soul Warrior is very basic. He will dash towards you or teleport above you to slam down with his nail. He will occasionally fire an orb that slowly homes in on you. The reason why he is in this category and not in the previous one is because I have some special bond with him which gets me hit more times than he should. He even managed to kill me once, so I think the man deserves a raise. He does have an arena change, but the only thing it does is automatically spawns these flying blobs called mistakes. How did they portray me so well? They die to one hit regardless of our nail binding, but they can still be a bitch to deal with because sometimes they are just able to spawn right on top of you. Marmu is a little cunt. That's right, I said it, I don't care, I'm not monetized. While on the surface it seems like a very basic boss, you hit him, he bounces, repeat until exercised. Pray tell, why is he in this category?
Whoa!
Oh. Well, that changes everything. Boil him alive. As it turns out, he can just ignore your nail hits to bounce back. Not only that, he can go hyper speed.
What? Is it just a sprite to left and accidentally hyper fucking bounces? Thank you.
But that's not the fun part. This arena you see is actually modified. It usually looks like this. Why would you do this? He can already reach the speed of light, don't make it easier for him. And what's made even worse, he's right after a bench. So he will rightfully waste all of your precious temporary health and make you question why do you even do this to yourself. This guy is here for one reason. He doesn't want to stay airborne. His whole thing is that he flies around the place while his massively large big scythe neck spinning scythe does the job for him. He also summons two smaller scythes as his health drops to make it harder to maneuver around the arena. So color me surprised when the guy who can fly doesn't want to fly.
When do you take those kind of curves?
I love flying all around.
Why are you on the floor? Why are you on the floor? Why are you on the floor?
The way he hovers up and down is seemingly random, but every time he gets close to the ground, he starts grinding the invisible rails. This can easily be boiled down to a skill issue, but come on! I don't think it's too much to ask a guy who can fly to fly. This boss makes me unreasonably mad. Just stay in the air. Fly, Icarus, fly closer to the sun. It will burn you to ashes. There isn't much to be said about this boss. It's just a solid fight. Wait for him to attack, close the gap, get a few hits in, and don't overextend. I don't really find him too difficult, but he keeps me on my toes to stay alive. Other than the times I'm actively trying to die. Actually, the same thing can be said for both Hive Knight and Lost Kin. They are all normal fights that don't actually last too long if you know how to take advantage of every opening.
Oh god, oh god, oh god! The bounce off wall, the bounce off wall.
They do have one thing in common though. It's basically them jumping forward. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, what the fuck was that leap?
I've been hit by this attack a lot. Why did you jump? Are you gonna attack? Should I be worried? Will I be able to dodge in time? Awesome. This boss is really easy, but she is here for another reason which will be discussed at length later. I suck at Watcher Knights. That's it. That's why they are here. Okay, saying I'm bad at them is an over-exaggeration. I just get hit really stupidly to no one's fault but my own. All they do is roll or bounce on the ground and you're supposed to recognize which one they are doing and react accordingly. The way I do it is I would be constantly poking on top of them and either distill a dive when I have soul or jump away if they decide to bounce up. They just get me in a really awkward position to escape, so I fumble easily. And it's also quite a lengthy boss because you need to kill 6 of them in total. I think I just have PTSD from a long time ago when I fought them for the first time ever. They kicked my ass. Team Cherry was having a laugh when creating this bastard. In the base game, you fight Yooh by avoiding its electric attacks, while waiting for Quirrell to do his thing, at which point you can actually damage it. Pretty normal stuff. In Gone Home, Quirrell isn't present, which is where these jellyfish called Umas were introduced, since when they are killed, their gelatinous brain seeks out revenge by homing in on you and exploding, so your job is to hit them into deflating the big fella. What's with the dramatic pause, you ask? Oh well, nothing, I just want to kill myself. Just why? Was this really the only option you had? With this many platforms, you are begging the Umamusumes to get stuck and blast you back to the start. At times, the jellyfish can turn into an anti-aircraft missile and will try to make minced meat out of you. Other times, a jellyfish can hit another jellyfish, leading to some very cool situations like...
I'm gonna not risk that. Usually I would, because it's not even that... If I do this... Okay, that happens, okay.
But the single worst thing that can happen is hitting the jellyfish towards the boss, and the game says no.
You gotta be kidding me!
Yes, you did see that right. 2 masks of damage. Just the addition of jellyfish makes this boss not hard, but undesirable to fight. And then we have the arena change. Why? Another arena change, where the change is removing the ground. Really? Where have I seen that one before? Maneuvering around platforms to find a good angle to kill the jellyfish was already awkward enough. Why do I have to worry about the floor beneath me now as well? It does not make the fight harder, it makes it longer, which is already enhanced by the fact I'm doing this with all bindings. Please help me, God. I shouldn't be getting mad at this, because if this is how worked up I get over an easy boss, may the future have mercy on me, for I know exactly what's to come, and I'm not looking forward to it. Right then, this entire part of the script had to be deleted and rewritten, because I was gonna make a joke about learning a whole new editing program and editing style, as well as establishing myself as a content creator before Silksong came out, only to be greeted by Team Cherry announcing that as of writing this, the game will release in less than 2 weeks. And by the time I upload this video, it would have already been released, and I played it on stream, and I had a fun time.
What? No! I'll go to the bench myself, man. Fine. I'll spare you the trouble.
And I got all the achievements, and it's my game of the year. Fuck you for making me delay the video with your awesome game.
You're typing that me. Oh, I have a heart attack. Hold on. Oh, that's not Silksong. I'm dying. It's fatal. That's the game. Hornet just dies.
Why are you here? No, I'm being serious. Why did I put you in this category? Okay, so I sorted everyone into a category while I was out of town. I couldn't really review the footage I had saved, so I kinda went for memory. The only reason I can think of you being here is because you deal 2 masks of damage, which isn't a problem at all, as Enraged Guardian is right after a bench. I mean, he can potentially waste my lifeblood. I said potentially.
My favorite boss. Yay.
I don't really know how to start with you, so I'll start with this. I don't like you. In fact, I hate you. I don't like your gimmick. I don't like looking at you. No eyes, in my eyes, is not a boss fight, but a chore. Where's the fight? Aha! I got a hit on you and you teleported away, of course you did. How do we go from a character that doesn't know personal space to social anxiety? All she does is teleport away from you while a bunch of sperm cells try to kill you. And since they spawn off screen, you may jump into them by simply wanting to attack the boss. But no worries, once she enters her second phase, that's when the fight gets real, because she spawns more white blotches. Even if she teleports near you, good luck reaching her. I'm not jumping, I know you want that. And a keen-eyed viewer might have noticed that this is a modified arena. You are literally in damage! What am I supposed to do?
One tick, you fuck.
Awesome.
Woo! Boring ass bitch. Next. Ah, the hitbox.
God damn, you thick! This is the boss that deals 2 masks of damage, which immediately makes it a problem this late into the run. And all while again, the boss isn't complicated, it really gets boosted just by the fact it does more damage. You gotta keep your distance at all times and do not get yourself backed into a wall. Mummy? Only time you can really heal is when he does his glaive or slam attack, and even then you already gotta have some distance.
Whoa, what the fuck? You just tried to walk into me. Whoa, no.
This is another one of those fights where I get hit really stupidly. But the fact that this is near the end of the Pantheon makes my nerves skyrocket if I get hit, leading to me getting hit again. A bit anticlimactic to end this segment with this guy, but this is not a solid fight, no complaints. It's a fight that you would have learned by heart after you've beaten him for the first time, unless you're actively trying to lose. What am I doing here? The pacing is perfect, there are clear opportunities when you can deal damage, but also more risky openings if you feel confident enough. Overall, really fun. Category number 3, and we are finally at the heavy hitters. This category consists of bosses that require your full attention. One mistake can easily turn into 2, 2 into 3, and 3 into welcome back to the start. Do not underestimate these guys regardless of how skilled or how easy you find it. This category consists of Tax and Fraud, Pyrocynical's Wet Dream, Sisters of Battle, Great Scam Artist, White Defender, and Nightmare King Grim. Right, so we have a sex offender, a white defender, all we need is a goalie and we can participate in the NBA. These guys I would consider a first wall of sorts when attempting this challenge. And basically a standard of how every remaining fight will go, because the way you play against them is majorly different. I've said before that length of bosses is doubled on average, and this is where that doubling really begins to show. In a regular P5 run, you are able to tank through the entire boss, and burst them with as many spells as you want, because after them is a bench to restore your health. Yeah, that would cost you 25% of your health if you try that here. And finding any sort of healing opportunity is next to impossible while both of them are still alive. The reason I call them a first wall is because it really tests you if you're ready for lengthy bosses. You're allowed only a couple of hits before needing to retreat. Actually, scratch that, you're not even allowed that because these fuckers can parry.
Hello? What the fuck was that?
So not only is the amount of hits you're allowed to do limited, there's a chance they might screw you over with a random parry. Keeping a close eye on who is about to attack and doing 1 or 2 hits at a time is the safest way to beat them. Except no! If anyone has attempted to play with all bindings, you might have noticed that you tend to take more hits than usual on bosses you thought you mastered. This is because in the base game you're not used to fighting and avoiding every attack for so long. A single mistake on a tough boss can be brushed off as a one-time thing as you proceed to spam the bitch shriek on the poor fella who even dared to hit you. Here you have plenty of time to turn that one-time thing into a real problem. This is particularly a problem with my playstyle, because I relied on just bursting down everyone that faced me, including Oren Mato. With all bindings, I'm literally cowering in fear at the edge of the arena. And when I began this challenge, these guys were a major obstacle at first, as I wasn't used to constantly dodging their rapid attacks. Unless they just decide not to move. This is basically a boss that tries to take as much space away from you as possible. Standing between the two will most of the time force them to attack at the same time, closing in on you. And before we move on, I just want to say that the jump they do is bullshit. This is the only leap in the game where the boss jumps off screen.
You jumped off screen! I was...
Something out loud, hopefully offensive.
It did not go well last time. Okay, never mind. That spell would not have helped me there. Okay, my fault, I guess.
Unless they have a change of heart and decide to stay on the ground last second.
I'm still trapped in the corner. You guys, yeah, are you stuck in the ground? You're stuck in the ground.
Awesome.
I lost a hive blood. A hive blood? A life blood, like. Oh yeah, I fucking hate you guys.
Raise your hand if you love a blobbles. Eh? Anyone? Yeah, that's what I thought. I hate that I have to repeat this again, but this is another basic boss that is here for one reason. I know that's been a theme so far in this video, but that one reason is usually enough to kill me. All these fat asses do is fly around the arena shooting waves of mysterious orange liquid. How, for the love of radiance, does this become even slightly a problem with bindings on? Well, let's start with the fact that there's two of them, which means the same problem with Oro and Mato applies, where they can easily close in on you, preventing any kind of escape.
Dude, go away! Dude, go away!
Or how about my favorite?
Dude, all four attacks knocked them down!
Yep, your own spells can knock the boss inwards instead of backwards. This is actually exactly what happened in that Dog Defender clip. I would have talked about Shriek being a good tool to make distance on the boss if they backed you into a corner, but I would feel silly even suggesting that. The worst hasn't even come, as when you kill one of these chubby, plump, dumpy, beefy, obese... Elephantine? Yeah, that works. Oh, I thought I said pussy. The one that stayed alive becomes frenzied, making it move way quicker, shoot more volleys, in which the projectiles are also much faster. I'm sorry, am I playing Hollow Knight or Toho? Because of the unfun mechanic that is called charm binding, you miss out on charms like Mark of Pride, which increases your range. Since you cannot access that, you're left with an average nail length. Range is something you're gonna have to get used to as a whole in this challenge. But please, tell me, how is this fair?
And one of the biggest roadblocks for this challenge. This guy fucking sucks. Thank you for the insta 180.
Not only do you have to deal with a frenzied Irishman whose projectiles can rival bullets, you have to watch out for frame 1 turns, which wouldn't be a problem without this damn glowing ball. Thankfully, there is a saving grace here. The boss has good healing opportunity. As soon as the boss decides to do his volleys, go to the other side of the arena and start healing once the final volley has been shot out. So the risk of death on this boss isn't big at all, so technically all my complaints are a bit over-exaggerated, but give me a break. Just because I can survive being ran over by a car doesn't mean I want to jump in front of one. Moving on from bad boss design, Systems of Battle is one of my favorite bosses in the entire game. Fighting them is like a coordinated dance that you have to adapt to. There is not a moment of rest. Any mistake you make you have to roll with, as when all 3 of them are still on the field, you're not getting a heal off. Look at how smooth this fight looks.
Oh.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate this reveal? For those who don't know, you fight the Mantis Lords twice throughout your playthrough. First time in the Mantis Village in order to get their respect and gain access to Deepest, and a second time in Pantheon 2. But in Pantheon 5... When I first saw this, it made me ecstatic. There is no other way to fight them like this, only once you get to them in P5. Nosk does the same thing, but... It's a perfectly designed boss fight that balances difficulty without it feeling unfair. Why is there a long pause? Personal space much? Since when can you do this and why? Call me bad all you want, but in my opinion...
Fair. I should have avoided that.
This shouldn't be a thing. And this is not a one-time occurrence. It happens at least once every fight. I can't win even if I'm having fun. Oh, and what was that I said earlier? Any mistake you make you have to roll with, as when all 3 of them are still on the field, you're not getting a heal off. Yeah, getting a free hit off of me seems very reasonable when I'm weaker than a coughing baby. Only way to heal up is to hope you kill one of the Mantis Lords fast, as you're actually able to heal when they do their slow double blade attack by standing in the middle. Okay, you can heal now. You can heal now. You can heal now! Finally, you're learning, never mind. But that's gotta be the only issue, right? Well, no, because this is also possible. Thankfully, this was a one-time occurrence, which, even then, how?
Ah. A plane. Aye.
Still, a boss that requires my full attention and is both very fun and challenging, other than the invasion of privacy, is always welcome. Sly is a good boss fight. What, you thought I was gonna call him a cunt? Another boss that is exclusive to Godhome. His difficulty is around Hornet's second fight, albeit ranked higher than her because he can use the nail arts. And they are much bigger than yours. Oh look, it's 2 masks of damage. But only on his nail arts, thankfully. He's able to do all 3 nail arts you do. Grace Slash can be charged whenever, so being in constant panic to avoid it is not a bad idea. For Dash Slash, he jumps to one side of the arena and prepares to charge, so you have a lot of time to act accordingly. And for Cyclone Slash, he will jump and stop midair to start charging it. After that, he will glide towards you. It's a good idea to spam jump on walls and bounce off of him if he gets too close. Aside from his nail arts, his attacks cover his entire body and you are not outranging him. Because of this, you are allowed 1 hit at a time. And this extends to his second phase as well. He won't let you smash more than once. He's shy. A good opportunity to strike is usually right after his attacks. You have to balance staying at a safe distance while also being close enough to hit him. Speaking of distance, he has a double slash attack, which is his most common attack. But if you're in front of him and in range, he will do a third attack, a jump into a spin. If you position yourself correctly, you're able to get a shriek off of him, getting some good damage. Just if you plan to use shriek, make sure you're actually in range. Sly is another really fun boss that isn't really affected by bindings when it comes to both fighting him and my love for him. And there's no catch this time, like with Mantis Lords. Mainly because I'm ignoring the fact that he breaks his own rule when dash slashing.
Why did you do a dash so close?
Yeah, I don't know why this happens, but not only is it really rare, it's at least avoidable, unlike...
Hello?
Yeah, take that, punk. Serves you right for trying to walk. White Defender was quite difficult to rank. In one hand, his difficulty stems from becoming consistent throughout a potentially long fight. But in the other, he's not really any harder than someone like Soul Tyrant. Reason why I put him here then was mainly because he is near the end of the Pantheon. After him, there's only 7 bosses left, so that is definitely a stress factor to consider. And not only that, but this is one of those bosses that I take quote-unquote stupid damage from. A lot of damage taken is just bad timing or positioning, something that can be learned through trial and error. The main thing I had issue with was his third throwing. As my range is minuscule, I had a hard time positioning myself to hit the boss in between throws. This and the overall pace of the fight made me play more passively. There were times where I straight up get lucky.
Holy shit, I think it went between me, holy shit.
But there were also times where I get forced into submission.
I couldn't move! I couldn't move!
So I think it balances itself out. A saving grace though was definitely the amount of healing opportunities. Whenever White Defender decides to jump into his ball form or burrow himself in his feces like Scrooge McDuck, there is a generous window of healing time. Not every window has the same opportunity, but you're always able to at least heal and get hit, leading to a dead neutral trade, and gathering soul back up takes just 3 hits. Did you just break the sound barrier?
Not happening. Did he just get knocked inwards from my nail?
Wow, I can't believe I'm saying this, but am I the only one that finds Sniper King Grim kinda easy? Okay, don't get me wrong, the fight is hard, and the bastard does 2 masks of damage. But I don't really know what else to call it. This is the kind of boss that I struggled hard when playing against for the first time ever, but not in this challenge. Purely relying on muscle memory, eventually the entire fight became autopilot.
First one. Dude! I don't... Okay, don't mind me, I'm just gonna go off the map.
2 masks of damage and the fact that he's third from the final boss skyrockets it in difficulty. But I cannot put him any higher. I just have too much experience with this boss to really have something to complain about. And besides, all of his attacks are simple to understand. Bat's attack, jump and dash. Inferno beams of fire coming from the ground, get jiggy with it. Spikes from the floor. He's not a constantly moving threat like Mantis Lords, with the exception of 2 of his attacks. He's a boss fight with simple but punishing attacks to dodge. He's even got guaranteed healing opportunities, so the 2 masks of damage isn't so detrimental if I don't blunder multiple times in a row, and at that point, I don't even deserve the win. So sorry to some of you who wanted me to tear a new one to this guy, because I've seen some people in the community get absolutely ass blasted by him, and yeah, I've been there too. Those were the days. But I feel like it would be in bad faith to make up complaints, or stretch out some one-time death and pretend the game sucks because of it. I have other bosses for that.
Unlucky timing. Usually I get away with it. Dude, too close. Personal space. Personal space.
Out of the 50 pages of my script, 25 of them are just these 6 bosses. Yeah, that's how much I have to talk about them. Room for error is minimal, and punishment is severe. Not only are these the epitome of what I've been trying to explain throughout the video, but 5 out of 6 of them are at the end, making it a gauntlet to test if you're truly worthy of beating what is considered the hardest challenge in Hollow Knight. Let me tell you, all of these guys ended up being more than 50% of my total playtime. That is how long I have tried to only prepare for them. Dear viewer, if you ever wish to attempt this challenge, take this guy as your first major obstacle equivalent to the Great Wall of China, because he is the 1 out of 6 I mentioned that isn't at the end but smack down in the middle. If you can't consistently pass him, then there's no hope for you. Okay, maybe I'm over-exaggerating. I mean, all he does is jump around and summon small enemies. Only in death is there mercy. Collector has an arena change, and that arena change is that all the enemies he willfully throws at you, like a real collector, are upgraded to their more deadly versions.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
We all know how horrible primal aspids are to fight against, but I don't think everyone realizes just how much of a problem they are with all bindings. This is what nightmares are made out of. Grim, the king of nightmares? Yeah, okay buddy. Since you can't really know when or where the aspids will spawn, it is complete RNG whether you need or can deal with them. And because of the charm binding, you cannot equip strength to kill anything that the collector spawns in one hit. Which doesn't matter in the first place, because even with strength, the nail binding lowers our damage too much. So every enemy has to take 2 hits to kill. What my first strat was, is to use Fireball every time an aspid spawns, so I didn't have to deal with him at all. This proved ineffective because the soul mining exists. Hi, hello, you haven't caused me trouble in this entire challenge at all, can you fuck off now? I had to use my spells more sparingly, and this isn't even counting the times you want to heal, or better yet, try to. So I switched to using Fireball only if an aspid spawns far, and dealing with anything close to me head on. This proved ineffective because what's preventing another aspid to spawn far again. Side note, the collector doesn't give you soul. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't even the only issue with aspid spawns. Even if they spawn close, they can take a massive amount of knockback, which is enough time to usually attack. I say usually, because aspids out of the jar can attack as fast as almost immediately, or take their bloody time.
Oh, dude, that aspid delayed it by a good fucking 10 seconds. Oh my god, I love you.
So whether you want to kill the aspid as fast as possible or wait for it to attack for safety, it's all a gamble. This isn't even exclusive to aspids.
You gonna fly? Hello? Hello?
And to that one person who is telling me to use nail arts, to that I say...
Yeah, that's why I don't do nail arts here. Oh, come on. It didn't, okay. Are you fucking serious?
There is no foolproof strategy. It's all a gamble. Like, here, the game decided this is the best time to spawn 2 aspids at once. Speaking of spawning, he does it too frequently. After doing a few jumps, or 1, the collector will jump into the ceiling and drop down jars. The amount of jars depends on his health, with the maximum spawn amount of 3. In the second half of his fight, you will be more focused on taking care of the swarm to make sure you don't get swarmed. Any damage you deal to him can be considered crossfire at this point. Uh-oh. It really doesn't seem fair when the boss can just keep leaping into the air to keep spawning enemies.
He's stuck in the ground again. He's stuck. He's stuck. He's stuck. He's stuck.
Here lies SurelyNotJoshua. That's actually his full name. He had a stroke trying to comprehend what he had just witnessed. While no one will miss his screechy voice, he did leave a few words with us scraped on the walls of his solitary confinement room. Fuck this fucking ass game. It's ass. It is unfair. The bugs are everywhere. I want them dead. I want them dead. When I close my eyes, all I see is darkness. I think I know why he was in there. He died as he lived. Horribly. Let us take a moment of silence to pay respects.
I've talked about taking care of threats fast as they spawn, but what about if we don't kill everything fast enough? Yeah. Oh, of course. Why not? Oh, more of them, you say? Finally, got him staggered. I can heal up and... never mind. Once you get swarmed, and it will happen, your best bet is that you have a spell ready to clear them all. It seems I have been quite surrounded. No worries. I have my spell ready and a single desolate dive should take care of everything. Excuse me? Can anyone tell me what's wrong with this screenshot? No? Nothing? How about the fact that there's an aspid in the corner? Part of the reason primal aspids are so hated is because they tend to fly away. Chasing these little bastards down is guaranteed damage. Coming out of this unscathed is a pipe dream. And who remembers earlier in the video when I brushed past Godtamer? This is what I've been referring to because the difficulty of the collector fight extends all the way to the next boss fight. Since healing is not recommended because you'll get swarmed very easily, and you'll be using that single spell of yours to clear out swarms, you're most likely not gonna have soul to heal up at the end of the fight, and are most likely gonna be low on health in the first place. This is the reason Godtamer can be a problem, because in this fight healing is a 50-50. So after fighting for my life, here comes a boss that is easy to mess up on. There is still so much to be said about this guy, but if I go into detail of how much fun I didn't have, it would double the length of this video. For the sake of my sanity, which is already low, here's a few honorable mentions. Collector/attack makes him leap from across the map, but he can also make him do a stationary jump. I hate this because I always go below the boss as he jumps, making me walk into him. Sometimes enemies can ignore hits right out of the jar. Sometimes you can ignore hits as well. How the hell does that even happen? The foreground is a legitimate issue, as if a sharp ball respawns and you hit it right away, it can hide behind the foreground, making it unclear which enemy spawns. This happens more often than you'd think.
Fucking random height. Thank you, foreground.
When the collector bounces off walls, it makes me want to vomit. Armored squeets, yes that's how they're called, can prepare to attack in one direction and then turn 180 degrees. Can you tell I'm having fun? And as you've already seen, the collector can get stuck in the ground, causing him to spawn shit more frequently. So that was the most unfun I ever had playing a game. Let's see who's next. No. 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 God damn it, I forgot you exist. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I can deal with as much bullshit as the game throws at me, but this... Oh, not happening. This is the most terrible, horrific, dreadful, horrendous, awful boss design I have ever seen in my life. I know I like to exaggerate and overreact about some pretty trivial things sometimes, you know, for the sake of content and what else. But this comes from the heart. I hate you! Radiant is more RNG based than Markov. You need professional help! Markov in the base game and P4 is completely fine, if not a bit annoying. But Markov in the Hall of Gods and P5 is the reason I'm glad the Muff tribe went extinct. I feel like we all know what I'm talking about, but for a few people out of the loop, Markov has an arena change. What change could that be?
It removes the fucking ground!
While this wasn't an issue with anyone else, with the exception of Umu, where it was a bit annoying to deal with, but still manageable because you still had a lot of room to work with, how does 5 small platforms in an even smaller arena sound like? Sounds like perfect boss design, ship it out on Friday. This blends perfectly with Markov's first and most problematic attack, which is spawning nails in your vicinity. But dodging very telegraphed nails isn't that difficult. No, it's the very not so telegraphed nails that are the problem. When you're moving around trying to avoid his nails, another one can spawn just at the edge of your screen as you're moving, making it very easy to miss and needing to half-ass a guess on where it's coming from. This might not sound bad, but due to his nature of being a slow-paced boss, you'll be encountering this a lot. The longer you go on, the more chances you have for this slight inconvenience to impale your insides. Not to mention that there is also a chance for it to be completely off-screen, meaning you can't see the wind-up animation at all.
What is that? What is that? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, no, of course, yeah.
I know there is always a person who plays devil's advocate, so please tell me how is this fair? And while you're faking of an excuse, I'm gonna be busy having an irrational fear of platforms because they can kill you.
Double jump, hello? I have wings to fly.
Oh no, I'm getting chased down by Markov. I better reposition so he doesn't collide with me.
I quit. No. Oh my god, why?
Actually, they don't even need to spawn off screen because they can just overlay under Markov, making it extra difficult to predict where they are heading. The spawning off screen is made even worse when you are on a wall, since they can freely spawn out of bounds. Now you might think, well, of course they spawned off screen. You are near the edge of the map. Yeah, fair point. I mean, I was kinda chased onto the wall because Markov decided to do so, but sure, fair point.
Why? Why?
Speaking of being chased, it's all energy on how he moves. And half the times I think he is under the influence.
Yeah, you're getting a bit, you choose a direction! Not, preferably not towards me.
I'm backed into a corner and he's just hovering between the platforms I want to land on and eventually decides I'm bored and slowly hovers towards me, trapping me in a shitty position. I will stuff you in a jar and sell you on 4chan. The shield may be the easiest part of his kit to avoid, but don't underestimate it. It has plenty of ways of kicking your ass. Like here, when I am chilling on the middle platform and I see Markov approach me. Nothing special I thought until, oh, the shield was off screen! The little shield spin he does isn't that dangerous and is actually the prime time to attack him. Since I'm assuming you're going to play safely against him, being aggressive will only get you impaled, the amount of hits on him will be very infrequent, so it is a must to charge up your nail arts. So anytime he approaches you or does his spin attack, it is a good idea to strike back. Unless he decides to not take knockback, you are just full of surprises.
You took no knockback! You got hit but took no knockback!
Well, if you're playing it even more safe and don't want to attack him outside of his spinning shield move like me, don't worry, he will hang below the platforms as much as he can to extend the boss fight even further. Besides the literal final boss, this guy took me the longest to practice and get somewhat consistent at him. And somewhat consistent is the best you're gonna get, because there is no way to prevent some horrendous nail spawns. This comment lives rent-free inside of my head every day, and I just... How? How did you come to that conclusion? How?
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, SurelyNotJoshua, but I'm afraid you've been misled. You're not here to beat this challenge, nor have you been called here to brag about your achievements, although you have been de-called. You have been called here into a pantheon of praise and godhood, misinformation and lies. A pantheon with no exit. An arena with no prize. The player's dedication for completion has driven him into endless cycles, chasing the promise of fame on some video sharing website. Always has been seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But he will never achieve that. This is where the video ends. And to you, brave player, who somehow found this game years ago, not intended for you. Although there was a way planned out for you. I have a feeling that's not what you wanted. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. This place will not be remembered, and the body that keeps God home intact can finally begin to decay, as the agony of every challenge should. And to you bosses in your arenas, be still and give up your souls. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more waiting for you into the sequel. Although, for one of you, the darkest pits of hell in the abyss has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the Shade Lord waiting. Text. End communication.
Dip.
Connection terminated. I'm so sorry,
No. Not Elmo. No.
Connection terminated. I'm so sorry. Okay. God, can you be bigger? Any bigger text? Make it title font.
I'm a granny. I need my glasses.
What Why do I have to sign into fucking Microsoft to change it to title?
What? Just put it in a fucking notepad.
It's no bad. That keeps God home. One word.
Well, that's how it's called. That's how the place is called.
It's called God home.
Yes.
What the fuck?
What do you
It's
mean?
like-
What the fuck?
It's the most basic ass name for like. This is home of God. We'll call it God home.
I'm sorry, it's not up to your standards, Linya the dragon. That one Bowser farting gif.
I'm glad I don't know what you're referencing.
God, what? How do you not know?
Dude, why do I know about the Bowser farting gif?
Okay, you read through it?
Oh yeah, wait, I was supposed to be reading through it. Sorry, you distracted me with Bowser farting and dragons.
I'm gonna send it to you if you do a poor job.
Do poor job sending you the Bowser farting. Okay. The things that come up when I search up connection terminated is connection terminated dip dip dip, connection terminated animated, connection terminated Peter Griffin. Fucking the dip 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 dip. You have all been called here into a pantheon of praise and godhood, misinformation and lies. Dude, my eyes just gave up working for some reason. What the fuck? The player's dedication for completion has driven him into endless cycles, chasing. I'm thinking of the dip, dip, dip.
Why'd you have to look that up, man?
I'm just thinking of the, like a dip, 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 dip. Connection terminated. This- I'm trying to laugh.
Did I hear you gulp?
Shut up.
Connection terminated. Oh. Nothing happened. No one is saying anything.
Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
I need to watch the entirety of.
Okay, do that.
I'll watch the entirety of it. Hold up.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name.
Why are you watching that one?
Nor have you been
Hey guys, remember when I said it was a problem that a simple enemy like Godtamer was after a really hard boss? Well, Grey Prince Zod is after Markov, one slot machine to another. Right next to Markov, Zod is one of the most hated bosses in the game. This boss was supposed to be a joke, a fight inside of someone's dreams who is imagining Zod as this hunky massive bulk. And now he's infamous for being a major headache in P5. I know some people were just waiting for me to rip into him like I did with the others. And I'm gonna have to disappoint you. I didn't struggle with him nearly as much as others in this category. Zod is actually not that bad. Granted, I absolutely despised him before I started this challenge. I was so horribly bad at this fight prior to P5 that something really needed to be changed. Simply brute forcing it was off the table. He's an enigma and needs to be treated as such. For every other boss fight, you either want to stay as close as possible and attack at every opportunity, or back off until you see an opening to strike. Zod is the only boss in the game that is the opposite. He plays by his own rules. You're not the one chasing him, he's chasing you. You have to wait for him to approach. You are supposed to make distance. You are the victim here, please call the police. You'll be surprised how much this single change affects his fight. Now, don't get too cocky, he is still able to kick your ass within seconds, which is why he is still in this category. But there is a way to get consistent with Zod. I can't believe I just said that. Another major thing I did was start counting hits for staggers. Now, staggering in Hollow Knight works in a unique way. It isn't based off of damage taken or entering a different phase, it is based off of number of hits. Any boss that can be staggered has a certain number of hits required. For Zote, it's 17. While counting stagger values, I didn't find it that useful on other bosses. On Zote, it was different. Since I was fully on defensive, knowing when Zote was gonna stagger told me how aggressive I can be and when is the next time I can heal. These two simple changes in playstyle make Zote actually fun to play against. Zote is more fun than Markov, this is the world we live in. He still has his own annoying quirks, but at this point, who doesn't? Zote just sticks out because he was never meant as a serious boss fight. Now, just changing how you approach isn't the full story. I mean, you actually gotta learn how to fight him. He jumps a lot, and every time he lands, he causes an earthquake. Go on a diet. A lot of jumps he does are directed towards you to try to stomp you, but he does also jump for the sake of repositioning, so being quick on your decision making is crucial. But there is a problem with this. Since Zote doesn't play fair, he's able to do this. Ignoring that, he does have a designated jump attack in which he is able to do a fake out much like Soul Tyrant. This is a really frustrating move to go against, but there is a way to avoid it 100% of the time. As soon as you see him jump for the slam attack, dash in any direction. If he doesn't do a fake out, you're able to walk forward and jump above the massive shockwave. You're able to avoid these with one jump, FYI. If he does do a fake out, turn around and walk away. It's as simple as that. No need to panic dash like I see most people doing, me included. Another problematic move he does is his run and flail tactic. Am I the only one who thinks pogoing on him during his attack is hard? Since his nail hitbox goes higher than his height, you'll have to pogo ever so slightly earlier, and this fucks with me. For that reason, I just do a pogo into double jump to minimize the risk of getting hit. Or just hide on a wall. Do be careful if he's close to staggering, otherwise...
Not bad.
Like I said, he plays unfair. Hey, it's me, Editing Josh. They actually fixed this in the latest patch. 8 years later. Okay, that's it, bye. Oh hey, you've been learning this boss fight a bit too quickly. Let's make it difficult by throwing in enemy spawning. Why? Can he do this? Could have just given him a slash attack or something and call it a day. Zote, for some reason, can summon, well, whatever abominations these are, and before you ask, they take 2 hits to kill, thank you very much. Which is such a bitch of a problem because both of these can fuck off. Winged Zoteling slowly flies towards you while hopping Zoteling, well, hops. Very, very high, to the point where dealing with them with a combination of Zote himself constantly jumping can be a chore. Killing these is your top priority, and luckily this is where using your soul comes in handy. Since your only guaranteed healing opportunity is when he's staggered, you might as well get use out of all this abundant soul you collected. But there is 2 major issues with this. First, what's preventing Zote from summoning twice in a row? You fuck! Waiting to see if he will summon twice seems like a good idea, but in that time that you're waiting, if a hopping Zoteling spawns, he will drop down and be out of the range of Shriek, which is your best spell in this situation since he summons them so high. And second, why are you alive? They are invincible until they fully spawn, and hitting them before that bounces them away. So now your high priority target is on vacation in the Bahamas. And do not try to chase them. You have to keep Zote on your screen because he isn't trying to shove his fat ass in your face. And for his final attack, the deadliest of them all, the Power Walk. Please tell me I'm not the only one who doesn't like this boss. I mean, the reason I don't like Fail Champion should be kinda obvious. Most of his attacks revolve around him doing a leap. I've already described why I hate jump attacks, so having a boss fight revolve around that is heresy. Heresy, I tell ya! He deals 2 masks of damage, he is huge while also throwing out massive shockwaves, and why is he faster than any other boss? He just doesn't stop. What have you been smoking?
Yeah, back away. Boulder was close. And man, you stop.
But looking back on my streams, those weren't the reasons why I had a hard time with him. It certainly were the reasons I don't like him. The main reason I was taking so much damage is because of the constant rain of orange boulders. I am in front of Fail Champion, he prepares to slam, I dash away, and I get a face full of rock. This has to be some kind of joke. How are the stars aligning this many times just to fuck me over? This is ridiculous. Well, isn't this an unlucky situation? Thankfully, the shockwaves and the boulders do only 1 mask of damage. So even if I get hit once from full health, I'll still be 2 hits away from death from the big guy himself. And you're able to fully heal up once he staggers. What? Were you expecting something more? An in-depth explanation on some secret tactic to beat him quickly or how to avoid getting so unlucky in the first place? Nah, that's it. Okay, next boss. Hey, big bro! I'm in a bit of a hurry, so can you just let me pass?
I'll take that as a no.
We are finally at the penultimate boss, the Pure Vessel. Pure Vessel is most definitely a demanding boss. He is big, with even bigger attacks. This boss is difficult, on par with Nightmare King Grim, I would say. All of his attacks are simple, but he attacks very frequently, and deals 2 masks of damage to top it all off. It is constant action, and the only break you get is when he's staggered. He has an arena-wide lunge, a triple slash. Those slashes can even reach behind him, the hitbox is huge. An attack that I struggled with way too much sometimes.
No, the knockback.
Nice going there. A focus burst, which is also your only healing opportunity other than staggering, and the one attack that I'm sure a lot of people die to, he has his own parry. Now, his parry isn't something you haven't seen already, but it's made 10 times more punishing, not only because of the 2 masks of damage, ouch, but also because the bastard delays it. So when you inevitably panic dash away because you hear the, he will take his time to jump your ass. Taking it 1 hit at a time is crucial, because if he parries as you hit him, it won't count. You can also play more balls if you have your Shade Cloak up for an invincible dash. Dashing through him is very consistent.
Nope.
Just be sure he is always on your screen.
I can't see him!
Now, if he is on par with Grim, why do I consider Grim to be in a lower category? That's because the way I see it, Pure Vessel fight extends to the final boss. Since the final boss is after Pure Vessel, and you don't get another bench to refill your lifeblood, it is in your best interest to lose as little lifeblood as possible. After Grim, whatever health you lost can be replenished on the bench, but after Pure Vessel, you're just thrown back into the arena with whatever is left. It turns out to be much more stressful to get hit even once, as any hit you take on the Pure Vessel is 1 less hit you can take from the final boss, because, spoiler alert, the final boss does 2 masks of damage. You could have probably guessed that already. But you've gotten this far, beating 41 bosses, and now you're on the doorstep of your final enemy to end it all. How bad can it really get? Absolute Radiance has a total of 6 phases. Phase 1 and 2 are nearly identical, so anything I say here can be applied to both, with the only difference being in Phase 2, floor spikes start spawning. The first attack is the one you probably get hit by the most if you're out of practice. Radiance shoots out 3 bursts of lasers. The time to react where they spawn is as minimal as it can get. And while yes, it's still very reactable, especially with good muscle memory, the problem stems from using dash to dodge the attack. I hardly do not recommend doing that, as if you're below the radiance, and you will be, the distance between 2 laser bursts cover just about 1 dash distance, meaning you can unintentionally dodge 1 laser into another. Jumping or walking out of the laser will suffice. This is gonna become a theme in this fight, where dashing can lead to a worse position, and keeping the invincible dash for an attack you know you cannot jump or move out of will prevent a lot of those awkward situations. Luckily, to consistently dodge the laser burst, you just need to focus on dodging the first one, and it's because the next burst cannot spawn in the exact same position as the last one, leaving only the first burst the difficult one to dodge. Next up is the sword burst, which acts similarly to the laser burst, except there's 2 of them and are way easier to dodge. Orbs are also kind of a freebie, depending on how good you were at Soul Tyrant, but the difficulty out of this attack mainly comes from combining different attacks with this one. In this fight, no 2 attacks can exist at the same time for the most part. What this means is that at the end of one attack, another one can start. This makes orbs really inconvenient. You can still be chased by them, as a wall of nails can just spawn out of the blue, forcing you to act quickly out of panic. Oh yeah, that's also the next attack. The Sword Wall and Sword Rain are arena-wide and require your full attention as they come into multiple waves. Sword Rain just requires you to not be in a bad position, putting your full focus on standing between the nails as they drop. Sword Wall, on the other hand,
What?
Sword Wall can be really awkward to dodge since they love coming out at the worst possible moments. It is very much possible to jump over any wave. It always has a gap, but getting used to maneuvering like this takes a lot of practice. But we're not done with walls yet, because we also have a laser wall. I have a special vendetta against this attack, but we'll get there soon. The attack forces you to use your invincibility dash. Another good reason to keep your dash so you don't have to run away like a coward. This is the one attack where the Radiants can straight up troll you, because if another wall of light spawns, the first one despawns. This causes situations like this.
Stop running away. How many walls?
Run away, run like a little bitch! Combining Laser Wall with any attack is really evil, and especially bad if combined with Sword Rain, since you're traveling horizontally while a vertical buttfuck is coming your way.
That's nice!
And lastly, the aforementioned Spike Floor. This is a permanent arena change, and the only way to get rid of it is using Desolate Dive, and even then it comes back after a bit. The Spike Floor prevents half the arena from being walked on, and consistently switches from one side to another. This will obviously heavily limit how much damage you can output, but the more concerning part is that this attack is extremely deadly when combined with others.
Again!
Just gonna leave this here so you can soak up the amount of bullshit that's oozing here. The Spike Floor changes way too fast to use Desolate Dive consistently on. Use it as a last resort if you're about to be hit. Using your only spell is better for Abyss Shriek, as it's gonna be your best friend throughout this entire fight. You think a 13 damage nail will suffice for the Goddess of Light with over 2000 HP? This is also the reason you want to stay as much in the middle as possible.
Oh my god! Fuck you! Fuck you!
And you're gonna have to accept the fact you're just not gonna be able to hit Radiance half the time. Phase 3 is the first transitional phase, and it is more of what you've already seen. Spikes on the side of the arena, keeping you locked in the middle, and constant sword rain. This can definitely feel hard, but as soon as you realize that the swords do not fall faster than you, you can simply adjust yourself as the swords are falling and jump as the next set of sword spawns. You can take as much time as you want here, so don't worry about taking it slow. Take this opportunity to heal up as well. Phase 4 is where it gets real hard, and all it does is remove the floor. Am I in purgatory? Phase 4 has all the same attacks we've seen so far, but now much more dangerous since we don't have the freedom of movement. Little word of advice: don't move from these free platforms. Chasing the Radiance around the map is not only pointless since she teleports every 2 to 3 seconds, but you're putting yourself in potentially more danger. And for what? A bit more damage?
Oh my god, I'm fine.
Your best bet is to stay on the bottom middle platform. If the Radiance teleports far left, jump on the left platform to see what attack she is doing, so you don't get a face full of melting Hollow Knight.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The platform ain't even that safe, because if you try to reposition as she attacks, you might as well go to a casino for a better chance of success. Staying in the middle platform is also the best way to avoid the orbs, since they spawn around the Radiance. This is good for 2 reasons. The one thing I haven't mentioned about orbs is that they do not collide with anything the first second they spawn, so by the time they get to you, they can collide with the platform you're standing on, completely eliminating the threat. The second reason is that maneuvering around the orbs is way easier on the middle platform, and you can dodge them without dashing, which again I do recommend not using your dash at all.
You're playing really difficult. You spawned it on me!
Keeping your position on one spot will also prevent getting telefragged as often. But this isn't foolproof. It is still possible for the orbs to do a 180, or even better, develop aimbot.
Whoa, hey, what was that? What was...
You can also straight up get unlucky and...
Oh shit, I have no spell. Oh, I was gonna air stall with my shriek. That's not fair!
Yeah, deal with that. Because the Radiance has many positions to teleport to, this phase can last as long or as short as she wants. She might decide to never teleport to the middle, extending the fight even more, or she might bless you with a godly position to get as much damage in, and then you get too greedy for your own good. Even if she does spawn in a favorable spot, be extremely careful, as a sword burst spawns instantly and leaves you no time to react, so you have to preemptively use Desolate Dive. Anything is possible with her. She might even forget to attack.
Wait, what are you doing? Hello? Oh, okay.
Phase 5 is the second transitional phase, or better known as the climb. Predicting where the Radiance will shoot the laser is proper guesswork, and it's made even worse the higher you go because she will become more accurate. The strategy I developed is a simple rhythm. Jump on a spot as she shoots a laser, and if the laser were to miss, go on to the next platform with your double jump. If you were to get caught in an unfortunate spot, only then use your dash. By now, you should know that panic dashing will get you killed. And finally, you reach the top, but you're not done yet. The Radiance, almost powerless, does the only thing she can, and that is to keep spotting orbs in hopes to kill you. If you made it this far, your nerves might get the best of you. But there is a bulletproof strat that just requires some patience. Keep dashing from platform to platform as soon as the orb spawns, like so. This will make the orbs always clash with the platforms, and when you see a clear opening, which is when the Radiance teleports as you get on the platform, rip and tear until it's done. However long it takes, she is at your mercy, not the opposite. The only thing that can go wrong here is if you mistime your jumps right as an orb spawns, which will cause it to potentially circle around the platform.
What?
Patience is the key. This boss is where I spent most of my hours. The sheer difficulty is unmatched, but it isn't unfair. Absolute Radiance with all bindings can take up to 10 minutes. And the fact that there's no bench before her makes Pure Vessel just as much of a part of her difficulty as the fight itself. Beating Pantheon 5 is a massive task for anyone. But this is next level. When I first started practicing for this challenge, I felt very confident going in. I spent years playing this game, I'm not gonna let some overly difficult challenge beat me. But when I actually went in, equipped all bindings, challenged the very gods themselves, it was an immediate realization that I wasn't ready. Bosses like Collector and Zod felt like unavoidable obstacles. Hell, even some bosses I never struggled with before like Ora and Mato were a big problem. Attempt after attempt, feeling like I'm making no progress. But I didn't falter. I changed up my playstyle and treated every boss as if it were a brand new one. Eventually I got better, more consistent. The Collector became a joke. My first ever late death was against Markov, which was devastating at first, but I continued on. I was making rapid progress, not letting anything stop my momentum. Until 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, and 4.
What? No! What?
As I dashed for the laser wall, I didn't notice where the Radiance fired her own laser as it was disguised behind it. Definitely an unlucky moment, but it was still my fault. Throughout the entire fight, I let my nerves get the better of me, which was why I was taking so much damage. Even at the Pale Vessel fight, I lost all my lifeblood. Nerve control isn't really my strong suit. I tend to collapse under pressure a lot, and it definitely shows. But the one thing I do not do is make the same mistake twice. I've now experienced what it is like to get to the end, to taste victory. So, I'll ask again, dear viewers, if you had to pick one accomplishment to display for all to see, what would you put? Yes! Oh! Finish it!
Drown in liquid.
Finish it!
Bitch.
Oh. I'm shaking. Holy shit, I'm fucking shaking. I think my reaction sums up my feelings the best. This was a long time coming. In total, I spent... Actually, no. First, I want you to guess how many hours I spent on this challenge. For reference, if you haven't watched my 2 other videos before, hint! Getting all developer relics in Crash 4 took me 25 hours, and beating all bosses no-hit pacifist in Hero of Ice Freddy took 20 hours. You got your answers locked in? Good. In my winning stream, I said it took 30 hours. This was wrong, as I only counted the hours I've streamed. In my review, I said it took 50 hours. This is also wrong, because Outplayed has been saving some recordings of Hollow Knight in a different folder, which I discovered way later on. In total, this challenge took me around 70 hours. Now, some of that time was allotted to re-practicing bosses, because at the beginning I was constantly on and off this challenge, with up to a week of break time, as I got busy with work and whatnot. But regardless, this much time put into any singular thing is insane. Don't expect this to be a regular occurrence on this channel. The only reason I did this was because Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games of all time. It has made me love the Metroidvania genre with its beautiful but simple combat system. Team Cherry has made a masterpiece and I wanted to show my appreciation by, well, completing literally everything. They intended for Bindings to be the ultimate test of skill, and I graciously accepted the challenge. That is how I show love to my favorite games. I did it! I still can't believe it, I did it! Let's see if the weather mask is available now. It should be. But after all the trouble I went through fixing it... It is! It is! Thing I've been grinding for. The true overcompletion. The hardest base game challenge. The weather mask. Oh, why are we at the top of the list? Wait, no. Just a moment, guys. There it is. Thank you all so much for watching. You have no idea how excited I was to finally jumpstart my channel again. I've attempted to make videos in the past, but always lacked motivation and mainly direction. I never knew what I wanted to really make my videos about. Ever since I've started achievement hunting, that has majorly changed, and it's basically motivated me again to actually make something both me and others would enjoy. Sure, I'm still slow when it comes to editing, but if you haven't noticed, I'm still learning. I'm still an amateur when it comes to editing, script writing, even reading scripts felt unnatural at first and I just couldn't deliver some lines properly. But it all comes with practice. Okay, enough blabbing, the video is hella long. I legit thought this video was gonna be at most 30 minutes. Look at how that turned out. So, if you've enjoyed this video to the point where you're still here, wow, I'm flattered. Drop a like and subscribe. Check out my Twitch where all my future challenges will be played. And check out my second channel if you wish to view any challenge run in full. Roll the outro!